Hey guys, it's Josh, and welcome back to another episode of The Grave, the podcast where I talk to friends, family, and even strangers about their paranormal experiences. Like I stated at the beginning and end of episode 1, several of this season's episodes will be cut into 2 parts, and this episode is part 2 of Tammy's story. A quick refresher for everyone. Tammy has grown up being surrounded by the paranormal and paranormal activity. She has experienced full-bodied apparitions. She has been haunted by shadow figures. And in this episode, she discusses with me several of her more interesting and absolutely terrifying paranormal investigations. And then we conclude the episode just generally discussing her plans on how she hopes to deal with the darker entities that have plagued her for the majority of her life. So I won't drag this intro out any longer, and without further ado, I give you Tammy, Part 2. Like I said in my email, it's jaw-dropping what you've been through. And I'm sorry, but I'm also not, because you get to tell it to me. And but all right, so let's just dabble a little bit in your own paranormal profession. Apart from or outside of your experiences in your own home with your own shadow figure, when you're out in the field, investigating things, has there been any place that you've investigated that you've been like, holy shit, like crazy stuff's going on here?
A lot. I mean, I focused mainly on residential cases because my whole thing about getting into the paranormal was to help people.
Yeah.
So like the big like historic locations and stuff just don't appeal to me. But I was probably one of the first people to investigate the Washoe Club before it got super like famous because of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
I actually was there before Ghost Adventures, but that place was phenomenal. I mean, shadow figures and the EVPs we would get, like they would be so loud they would rattle the speaker playing them back. We were in one of the rooms upstairs and I'm standing in the window area and there's a door across from me and I see a cowboy standing there.
Oh wow.
And we all kind of see this figure and we're like, oh my God, and all of our equipment's going crazy and we're trying to communicate with it. And then I just see I see him standing there and then just like a flash of light and like it rushed like right up to like right in front of my face.
Yeah.
All of our equipment died when that happened. So we had to go downstairs to charge things up again. And you can literally hear it running down the stairs after us. That was pretty phenomenal. And then there's St. Mary's Hospital in Virginia City as well. Super haunted. We're sitting there at the kitchen table kind of just discussing how we're going to go about the night. And I feel something like touching my hair. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, don't touch my hair. But you can see like everybody saw my hair being lifted. And then like this misty like green orby thing just kind of started manifesting in front of all of us.
Well, that's something. that's
yeah.
terrifying.
It was scary, but it was amazing all at the same time.
Right.
So those were like the most significant, like famous locations.
Yeah.
I take my first dark case that we picked up. A woman had called me, and she's like, "So, my house is haunted. It's a demon." And, she's like, "It's like molesting me," and
Oh, jeez.
this, that, and the other. And I'm like, "Okay, well, calm down. It's probably not demonic." I asked some like routine questions, if there was any like alcohol abuse, drug abuse, mental illness in the home. And she had said that her son that lived with her was bipolar. And I was like, okay, well, that could be a source of what's going on because they're more vulnerable.
Yep.
Open to spiritual attacks. So, that could be part of it. And then she was just telling me like this thing like touches her and just really horrible things. And I was like, okay, well, we'll go by and see, and see if we'll pick up the case or not. So we go there, and as soon as we walk in, it's like an episode of Hoarders. And that's like most art cases. The homes are just trashed up, and and all that creates negative energy anyway. So we're interviewing the family, and she said, I've lived here for 20 years, but this didn't start until about a year before before she contacted me. And I said, well, did anything change in that time period? She goes, well, not really. And her brother lived there because his wife had passed away. And so he came from the Philippines to move in with his sister. And then her son lived there. So she was like in her 60s, I think. The son was in his 40s. And she's like, yeah, we sleep on the couches, which I thought was really weird because it was a 3-bedroom townhouse. So why is her and her son sleeping on the couch? That was strange.
Yep.
The brother had taken her bedroom. And like during the interview, I think the lights flickered on and off or something. And that was kind of it. But she went upstairs with my other partner that I brought to like show her what was going on up there. And I stayed downstairs with the son, and he's like, so my name is such and such, but call me this. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird, but he is bipolar, so maybe that doesn't mean anything. And he was like, I play the Ouija board to let them in.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, why would you do that? And he's like, I've just always been intrigued and I want to learn from them. And I was like, okay, but you can go about it a different way. Like, that's probably not the smartest thing to do.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, nothing bad's happened. And I was like, okay. Then he proceeded to say that he had gone to Prague in Germany because he was in the military, and that he investigated the catacombs in Prague. And I'm like getting a little freaked out because that was literally a vacation that I took maybe 6 months prior to me taking this case.
Mm-hmm.
Investigated the catacombs in Prague. So I'm like, what the hell? And I'm feeling like really nervous and just not comfortable around him. And I'm like rubbing my rosary, just like get me out of the situation.
Yeah.
And a lot of things just weren't adding up and just felt really not right. So I kind of wrapped it up for the day. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go over everything and we'll be in contact with you. Have you ever seen the movie American Haunting?
I have not, no.
Okay, so the dad is molesting the daughter and is creating like a haunting in the home.
Yep.
When she had mentioned, that they had slept on the couches downstairs, and she had told me sometimes her son gets on the couch with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she had told me, she feels like the spirit's touching her. And I was like,
oh boy.
So I called her and I said, look, do you mind meeting up with me at like Starbucks or something, just you? Because I have some things I want to discuss with you about your son. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. So I was like, for one, he says he plays the Ouija board. She goes, well, I've never seen that happen. And I was like, well, he said he does. So you need to keep an eye on that type of activity in your home.
Yeah.
And for two, he said he left the country and he went to Prague and Germany. She goes, he's never left the country. She's like, no. And I was like, he was never in the military. She's like, no. And I'm like, okay. Because he just like described my vacation. And I'm just like, how would he even know that,
Right.
So I just validated that he knew something about me that he shouldn't have known.
Right. That he could not have possibly known.
Yeah, no, there was no way. I'm not feeling very good about the situation, but I want to help you, so we'll help you. And I'd asked her because she said she feels like it's touching her and stuff. And I was like, have you seen a doctor? I was like, because neuropathy can make you feel that way. And she's just like, all my checkups have been normal. And I was like, okay. So we do our first investigation of the home. They leave. We go upstairs, and I hadn't gone upstairs yet until this time. And I go into what would have been his bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a mess, boxes and stuff all over the place. But he had like satanic drawings all over the walls.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, how does she not notice this?
Yeah.
Something's not adding up here. So we walk into the hallway, and the linen closet was kind of cracked open. And we look inside there, and with like crayon, like satanic stuff was drawn on the wall in there. And I'm like, this is just kind of weird. Like, how does she not? Right. And then we have her brother who has this like table in the bedroom, and it's all these saints and Catholic things. And like, he's like extremely religious, prays to his saints like 3 times a day. So you got like the complete opposites going on. I'm like, well, that's kind of the perfect storm. So we're in his room, and I'm like on the floor on my knees, kind of leaning over the bed.
Yep.
And we're doing a EP session, and we hear a growl, and the bed shakes. I'm like, okay, there's really something here. And we were going to start a new EVP session. And they had, I think it was like 3 or 2 pit bulls. And they had them outside when we had got there. And because they were kind of aggressive. So they didn't want them to bother us because they weren't familiar with us.
Right.
But we were the only ones there. And we hear the dogs running up the stairs. And we're like, what? So they almost run into the bedroom. We shut the door in time. And then the son was there, and he starts yelling at us, like, get out of my house. Like, you don't have permission to be here, blah, blah, blah. We're like, dude, like, your mom gave us permission to be here.
Right.
You need to calm down. So I called the mom, and I was just like, you need to come get your son or whatever. And so we kind of wrapped up that day. We went back a few times, and we didn't get a whole lot of stuff. And we were talking to her, and we're like, can you like tell us more about what happened around the time that this all kind of started? And she goes, well, he had like a psychotic break, which she was referring to her son. And they took him to John George, which is like a mental institution in San Leandro, California.
Mm-hmm.
And they diagnosed him schizophrenic. And I was like, well, that's kind of important. Like, you might have told
useful
us that.
tidbit we could have used.
And so I was like, well, schizophrenia and possession. I didn't say this to her because I didn't want to scare her, but I'm thinking to myself, like, they're very, very similar as far as like symptoms and how people act. I hadn't heard from her after that for about a week, and that wasn't common. She would text me and call me all the time. Yeah. I'm like, something's not right. So I called, and her phone went straight to voicemail, and the voicemail was full. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And so I kept trying to like get in touch with her, and I just couldn't get a hold of her. And I was in the area with my friends, and I was like, let's just kind of stop by her house and do like a wellness check, make sure everything's all right. So we go there, and so we go to the door, and so the front door is open, screen was shut, as you can see, and like the couches were flipped upside down, and it was just like a mess. I was like, what the hell? And the son comes to the door, and he's like, you can't be here, blah, 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 blah. And like his eyes were pitch black. Like when I say pitch black, they were pitch black. And I'm like, this isn't right. Like something's not right.
Yeah.
So we leave the area, like the house, and we walk out to the street because it was like a townhouse. So I was like, well, let's call the police.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't really know what else to do.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I don't even know how I'm going to explain this to a police officer. But so he gets there, and luckily, like, he believed in paranormal. So I got lucky. He didn't think I was totally batshit crazy. So he goes to the door, and he talks to the son or whatever. Well, turns out, for whatever reason, he had his mom's cell phone. So the mom was okay. She was at work. So I guess he had the cell phone the whole time and whatever. So me and one of my partners go back one last time. And we go up to his bedroom. And on his dresser, there was like, like the pack of socks, the new packs of socks.
Yep.
It was like one of those with a hat and a Polaroid photo on top of the hat. And I'm like, oh, maybe that was him and his sister when they were younger. But I'm getting closer to this picture, and this picture's becoming more familiar to me. And the photo, mind you, a Polaroid.
Yeah.
It was me and my sister.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I was 5, she was 10, and then laying down next to that Polaroid was a negative of a photo, which was my best friend and I when I was 16.
I am literally at a loss. How did...
Right, exactly. And what makes it even crazier, my dad had passed away in 2012. I want to say this was 2014-ish. Mm-hmm. My mom ended up having to sell the home. And so about a month and a half or so prior to me taking that case, I came across that Polaroid, and it got put in the box of photos and put into her storage. So like there was no way like this guy could have got
right. Like
so I like felt like I got kicked in the gut, and I was just like, this is too much. So I called them, and I'm like, you need to come home now. Like right now. Right. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Like, how did you get this? And he was like, well, it was on the floor of my room. And I was like, okay. So you put it like on display, because that's basically how it looked.
Right.
And he was just like, I don't know, what are you accusing me of? You're gonna call the cops, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I just want to know how the hell you got a Polaroid photo of me. It's not like he could have pulled something off the internet and printed it. Like, it was legit a Polaroid photo.
Yeah.
And I was just like, no, we're leaving, you know. And I called a friend of mine who is a medium that I really trust, and I was like, what's going on?
I need something here.
How did this happen? And he's just like, well, it's demonic, and you know, it's very personal at this point, and you need to back out because it's going to hurt you. And this was all, you know, when I told you about the story about the pounding on the front door.
Yep.
So this was all the same time frame.
Okay.
And I was living in that house by myself for a while. And I mean, like, pounding on the walls, dresser drawers opening and closing in the middle of the night, like door slamming, like just like crazy stuff.
Right.
So I feel like when I was working that case, I think it just kind of made my situation even worse. Because I had the after effects of that case for quite some time.
A while. As far as you know, like, has that kid been exercised, maybe a strong word, but like, has he been treated? Was there any like recourse for like his weird behavior, or as far as you know, he's just up to his old tricks?
I had a couple of years, that was 2014 when I took that case. I think once a year or so, I would try to reach out to her to see, because I tried to pass the case on to another team or something, but nobody wanted to touch it.
Yeah.
So I would reach out to her periodically just to see how she was doing, and she's the same thing. And then, like, after some time, she just stopped responding at all. So I don't know. Unfortunately, I mean, it was just one of the things. Yeah, I mean,
okay,
I couldn't keep myself in danger, so
right, of course.
But I felt terrible because I wanted to help her.
Yep. Yeah, understandable. But yeah, I mean, that is like when you got Polaroids of someone, that's
and a negative of a photo. Like, how does that happen?
Yeah, that's hard to come by.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Obviously you've been through a lot, you've experienced a lot.
In general, like, for me, weird things always happen. Like, my mom and I were in New York walking down Central Park, and this lady in business attire, like regular clothes, stops in front of me, and she's yelling at me. She's pointing in my face, and she's like, he knows what you're doing and he doesn't like it. He's coming for you.
Jeez.
And she steps aside and walks away, and my mom and I are like, what the hell was that, you know? And I was assuming he, as in the devil, was what she was referring to.
Right.
And about a year and a half after that, at a birthday party in Napa, my friend's party, it was like a bunch of paranormal people, and there was a couple there who was hanging out with my friends and I, and they were like, oh yeah, our house is haunted, we need some help, do you mind coming and helping us? And I'm like, for sure. And so the party, you know, it's getting later and later, and everyone's pretty much gone at this point except for that couple, and then me and my one friend were in the hot tub with them, and we're just talking, and then all of a sudden he was just like, have you spoke to him? It's like, him who? And I point to my friend, I'm like, him? He's like, no, him. And then it kind of clicked what he was referring to. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I've worked a couple of cases where I know that two people were possessed for sure. He goes, yeah, he knows you well. And he basically said the same exact thing as the woman in New York did. And he's like, he's coming for you. He's going to hurt the ones you love. He doesn't like what you're doing.
Oh my, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I may have missed this. So the guy who said, did you know him?
No, this is the first time I ever met this couple.
Okay.
Ever. Okay. And I'm just like, how is this happening? Like, how is this person in California a year and a half later saying the same thing to me that a woman in New York said to me?
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen? And then, was it 2 years ago? I was in Kohl's and I had to use the restroom. And there was this lady a couple stalls down from me, and she was speaking in tongue.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm like, no, this is not happening.
Not today. Not in Kohl's.
And I'm like, I'm texting the person I'm with, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm sitting in the bathroom stall, and this woman's speaking in tongue. Like, what do I do? And then so she finally leaves, and I hurry up and I get out of the bathroom, and I walk out, and there's this little boy in a stroller, and then his mother, and she's looking at something, and he's looking straight at me. And he goes, there you are.
Oh boy.
with this like Damien like look on his face.
Oh Lord.
Like, what? And I'm like, okay. And so I like walk by him and he's literally following me with his eyes until he can't anymore. So I'm like, let's leave. I have to get out of the store. Like, this is just too weird. And this is like winter time. Mm-hmm. So I get into my car and my phone is so hot. You can't even like touch it hot.
Yeah.
And it just dies.
Interesting. So it was like that like evil entity, whatever was going on in there was like sucking up any energy it could.
Yeah, I'm assuming so, because I was like, there was absolutely no reason for my phone to overheat. It wasn't hot. I wasn't using it. Like, why would that happen?
Yeah.
So like stuff like that happens to me all the time.
My God. I mean, you are amazing, but also I'm so sorry for you. At this point, are you like, this is just my life, this is what I'm dealing with? Or are you like, I need to figure out a way to get this to stop? Like, are you actively trying to make this go away? Or at this point, is it here, this is it, and I am just going to deal with it and help people as best I can through my experience?
So over the years, we've tried having priests, demonologists and stuff come in and try to help us get rid of it. And that's only made things worse. Last October, my sister, she was in her, because my family all lives together in one house. And so my sister was up in her bedroom and she kept seeing the thing like peer in and out of the bedroom. And she's like, starts praying. And she's like, God, please don't let this thing hurt me. And when she started praying, like it slammed its hands down on the foot of her bed. And then it crawled on top of her and held her down. And she's screaming and I can hear her. She's like, so I have the master bedroom, like in the way back bottom of the house, and she's upstairs. So we're two different opposite sides of the house. And I hear her screaming and I call her phone and I'm like, dude, what's wrong? She goes, it attacked me. I called a local priest here and had him come bless the house. And then it got worse, of course, because that's always what happens.
Yep.
And then, I have a lot of health issues. And I'm sure that whatever is attached to me isn't helping that. And I've been in close contact with a demonologist and an exorcist, but both live not in Texas. So it makes it really hard. But things are being really bad lately. Activity is just way worse. And my health is really bad. So it's like, I need to do something now before it's too late, really. And so I'm, the exorcist and I did a minor rites and a blessing virtually because he's in South Dakota. So it was kind of like, I don't know how I'm going to get you here. I can't afford it. So the first time it was pretty quiet. So then a week later we did another, but he used the Roman Catholic rites this time. He didn't do that the first time.
Yep.
And so we're doing it in my bedroom and I have this little picture thing on one of my nightstands. And as he starts reading it, that flies off the nightstand. And then we're going through it more and more. The chair in my bathroom like slides across the floor. The bathroom door slams shut. And I'm recording this on my recorder the whole time to see what we pick up.
Yeah.
And I'm like going through the playback and it's static. And as soon as I turned it on to start recording and he starts saying, we'll use the Roman Catholic version this time. This like creepy ass voice comes through and it's like, it's evil. I'm like, oh, okay.
Thanks for letting me know.
Thank you. Yeah. And like, we got a lot of like it mocking him and laughing. So yeah, I'm actively trying. I've actively tried to get rid of it since the beginning. But every time that we do try, it just really makes things worse. So the next step is to do another minor rites. And he wants me to have a local priest come in and hold a mass here and do a blessing and just kind of keep hitting it.
Yep.
And I mean, it's going to probably get worse before it gets better, but.
Right. But just, like you said, keep hitting it and just keep throwing punches until hopefully it eventually just leaves.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't take it anymore.
I was taking a bath. I think it was Friday or something like that. And I got a notification on my camera because I had a camera in the bathroom because the closet door keeps opening and closing and it keeps like getting my cat to go in the closet and shutting the door after it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was in the bathroom in hopes to capture that happening. And we actually did. So I was happy about that. But so you hear a voice say, she's mine. And it's a really creepy freaking voice. And then you hear another voice under that saying, "No, she's mine."
Oh God, is it? Gee, I don't know. Don't want to add to your anxiety, but is it possible there's multiple?
So there's two. I've been working with this exorcist, and we have found out, okay, so there's one that attached to me through that traumatic experience. And you know how I told you about my great grandma? Well, my great great grandma.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, there's like a generational bloodline curse thing too. And he actually got a name of the demon.
Yeah.
And this demon is like, dates back to like the Babylon. And what this demon typically would try to attach to would be like a country, like to cause chaos in a country, like not a person. So he's really trying to dig and find out like why the hell this thing has any interest in me.
Yeah.
So he's like, your great grandma had to have done something really, really, really messed up. So we're digging into that, and it's all like kind of lining up because like I did my ancestry, and I'm trying to dig deeper into all that and figure out all I can. And so that side of my family, I found out I was like 16% Jewish or something. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's what she was.
Okay.
So like all of it's kind of lining up. And he does want us to maybe get a rabbi involved because of the Jewish part of things.
Right.
That helps. So it's just a big mess. And I'm just trying to I'm just figuring it out, along the way.
Piecing it together as best you can.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, God, my heart breaks for you. You are such a strong person to be dealing with what you're dealing with, and also just live life as a normal person. Again, this has been extraordinary. If you have any closing words, I'm more than happy to hear them. I think what you've given me, and everyone listening, is just, it can't be replicated, and I can't thank you enough for doing this with me. But I'll leave it up to you if you want to say anything else.
I just, for people that are going through this, like I am, just know that it's real. You're not crazy, and I just hope that they can find help and resolution to what they're dealing with as well.
So that is going to do it for Tammy. I think, if nothing else, we can all agree that Tammy is a very brave person, and whether it's herself who's being haunted or someone else, I think her tenacity and want to help others by using what she's learned through her personal experiences, but also seeking out the help that she also rightly deserves, is just incredible. And I do truly, truly hope that she comes to a resolution and hopefully a conquering of the dark spirits that she has to deal with on a daily basis. If you are interested in following more of Tammy's hauntings and experiences, as I stated in episode 1, you can find her on Instagram at ScreamQueen36, as well as her other Instagram page and TikTok at TheHauntedOne36. For next week's episode, I talk to a spiritualist by the name of Jessica, and I think you will be just as enthralled with her stories as I hope you were with Tammy's. So thanks for listening, guys, and as always, I hope to have you all back for some more scary stories.